Okay, last night I was on a plane, I listened to an album from start to finish, and I kept hearing this specific effect. I want to recreate it in Studio Pro. So the effect was like, it was like the lead vocal, but then there would be this really warm, reverby thing, but it would also be, it sounded like it was the vocal, but it was also like maybe up an octave. And I immediately thought, I think I know how to do that. There's probably like 16 different ways to do that. I think I know how to do that, and I want to use the new Studio Verb to do it as well. So here's the song we're going to use for this experiment, and here's the section. So this line here, there's a break. I sing a line, there's a little break in between. I think that's where I want to try to use this. So first, let me just play it for you to give you some context.
I need to stop listening to voices in my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something.
Okay, lovely. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to duplicate this track, and I'm going to, actually, you know what, let's do this. Let's duplicate it complete. So I'm going to leave the original track alone. We're going to use this, duplicate complete, which means it's going to take the audio with it. So here is our duplicate. So we'll call this experiment. We'll change the color to something we can just recognize. All right, the red one is the one that we're messing around with. That's what we're going to listen to here for a second. So first thing I want to do,
I need to stop.
I think I just want to take it up an octave. We can do that a couple of ways. We could use Melodyne and then drag the whole notes up a full octave. That probably will sound the best, but I'm not looking for pristine. I'm going to mess with the sound anyway. So the quickest way is I'm just going to press F4, open up the inspector, and I'm going to go find the section for transpose. So by the way, these little handles here, if you ever see something like this in Studio Pro, that just means you can resize things. So we give you a lot of things to access over here. If you can't see one, click and drag a little handle, you'll probably see it. But this is what I'm looking for, this transpose setting. When I select a piece of audio, so this entire vocal, for example, I can come over here and I can type in a number. It's in half steps, so if I want to go up an octave, we go 12. So let's see what that sounds like. Should sound chipmunk-like.
I need to stop listening to voices in my head.
It's so stupid. But that's actually the sound, getting towards the sound that I think I want. Next, I'm going to add Pro EQ. I'm going to roll off the highs to chillax it a little bit.
I need to stop listening to voices in my head.
Then I want to add a reverb. Now there's different, the way I typically like to add a reverb is to use a send and then have the actual audio file send to it. I think that makes sense here. Or I could put it directly on the track. I'm gonna use a send in case I want to use this reverb elsewhere in the song. So in case you didn't know, with the new Studio Pro, there is a new reverb plugin. In addition to the new, it's called Studio Verb. Check it right there. I'm gonna drag that. You know, I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. I'm gonna put it on the channel itself, and we're gonna use the mix knob to kind of play around with the sound of it. So we're just going to keep it all contained into one track instead of using a send off to another reverb. That to me just makes sense here. I do like that there's a low cut. I don't want this to get muddy. And let's just see what that alone sounds like. It's so silly. What happens if we increase the size of this thing? Other important thing, we put this on a mono track, so it's going to be mono. A couple ways to change it. We can click here to change it to stereo. Also, if we open it up in the mixer, we should be able to do that as well. Oh, maybe I lied to you. I just lied to you. Here on the channel, we can go boink. That changes this to stereo. That should sound stereo now. I mean, it's kind of cool, and I like that it's just all reverb. So I'm not getting any of the direct, I'm just getting the reverb on it. All right, so let's just roll off even more frequencies here. When I think about the song that I heard on that album, it was pretty, I'm gonna go real, there was no high frequencies at all. So I'm gonna go more aggressive on this slope here. So we're dealing with a very specific range of frequencies. Go a little bit longer here. My settings got messed up. So, okay, I fully recognize that this is crazy. What are you doing, Joe? Well, I'm creating this thing to go underneath. So I'm going to mute this entire vocal. So Shift M mutes that whole track, so nothing's going to play now. And I just want it to play on certain words. So if I just play it on these words, Shift M to unmute these. Let's just see what that sounds like.
In my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something.
Interesting. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it is intriguing. It's like too much low end. It's too muddy. But also, I think it would be cool if that came between the gap of the two phrases. So let's add a delay, just analog delay. I'm gonna set it to 100% wet, and I'm gonna set it to maybe a quarter note. Let's listen to these two together.
In my head, but they're on to something.
Okay, yeah, so it needs to be maybe a half note. Let's try that.
In my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something.
First of all, the delay needs to go at the beginning, and it needs to be a full bar. Let's try that.
In my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something. I need to...
the reverb is out of control. But that's interesting. Now, if I turn this down, because it's obviously too loud, it needs to be like subtle in the mix. With all those combined, that's kind of an interesting thing.
Voices in my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something. I need to stop hanging on to...
Interesting. Okay, so the problem is the delay, the feedback on the delay. I need it to just repeat one time, no feedback. I think that makes more sense. And then I think it might be kind of perfect. And we'll turn it down a little bit more. It's still pretty loud.
Voices in my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something.
I forgot the reverb. Let's turn the reverb on, and that should be great.
Voices in my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something. I need to stop hanging on to every word they've said. But they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something. Every word they've said, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something.
I mean, it's kind of cool. There's an extra repeat happening. I don't quite understand, unless there's something else happening in the mix that I don't know about that's happening. But I kind of dig it. It's just a different element rather than just the vocal on a quarter note throw of a delay that's repeating. And rather than like having to sing something different or play a different part, it just creates this little element. And I can just unmute the sections that I want to have that little extra touch to it. And there's no automation involved. You could totally do this with automation. Like I said, there's like 16 different ways we could do this. But I'm kind of happy with the way that kind of turned out.
Listen
Now, you could make the case that that reverb is just way too long at 6 seconds, and we could adjust that and mess with it as much as we want. But that's a super cool and intriguing thing. So what I love about this is why it's so important. And I know this is like the most obvious statement ever, but it's so important to take time to listen to other music out there, because the cool thing about even the best producers in the world, at some point they have to release that music, which means you get to listen to it, which means you can hear all the things they did. And you may not know exactly how they did it, but you can hear, that sounds like a vocal. It sounds like it's up an octave. And it sounds like it's got some reverb on it. So you can go and experiment, and you may not do the exact same thing, but you can experiment with it and come up with something that might be really cool, or it might be your own thing, but you can be inspired by them and then go try to copy what they did, which I think is pretty cool. Some people push back on that. They say, oh, I don't want to copy. I want to be completely unique. Okay. But for the rest of us who recognize that we all get inspiration from everywhere, to me, that's the richness of art, not a downside. I get inspired by all kinds of things, music and non-music, and I apply it to my art, which I think is pretty cool. One other thought I had is if you can make the case for take it up another octave, set it to 24. It's going to be different. Might be interesting. Let's listen.
Voices in my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something.
That's super interesting. The other, I don't know why it's repeating so many times. Okay, after a little digging, I realized the ping pong mode on this, which makes it bounce back and forth, if it is on either in sum or 2 channel, it won't just do one repeat, it does one extra because it's doing the ping and then the pong. So if you turn this to off, now we'll just get one repeat of this delay. Which that's how I wanted it to go. So now the final version. This should be cool.
I'm listening to voices in my head, but they're on to something. Yeah, they're on to something. I need to stop hanging.
Now I'm not completely convinced that the other octave up makes as much sense, but it doesn't sound as silly as I thought it would when I first thought about doing this. But if we set the whole thing to 12, that might be a little more reasonable than the like 2 octaves up. But there you go. Just one example of a fun little trick you can do with a couple of plugins and Studio Pro. Thanks for watching. See you.